subtitles, language, playback speed.
Everything's grayed out.
Everything.
There must be something you have to pay
New
for.
I don't know what's going on. We've got 1:30 of us trying to fault find now. Oh, hang on. My shorts roll up. My shorts roll up my gooch.
I know all about things being up my gooch. Last episode. I'm a pro at this point. Got this on camera now. That's gonna be spliced in, I'm sure.
That's the cold open.
Oh, goddamn. Well, I'm Thomas.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
He's Thomas. I'm Adam. This is season 2, episode 4 of the podcast, and that's the first time I've done an intro.
That is the first time I've done an intro.
Cool.
Today we're going to talk about the Olympics. I figure we'll talk a little bit about the season itself again, now that we've experienced our first practice with it. Go through some Findlay stuff, and then just kind of tidy some loose ends up, which some stuff to talk about. So, the Olympics. Start with men's and go into women's, or women's and men's?
Yeah, I saw a good stat. I'll see if I can find it, but it was Google search terms for interest in rugby, and it was just like it peaked at the World Cup, and then you should have seen it at the Olympics at the men's,
even higher.
And then in the women's, it just went off the chain. Yeah,
I'd seen that. I don't know how you say her name. Alona Mayer, however you say her name, has 2 million followers now on Instagram, TikTok, which is usually the most followed rugby account anywhere other than.
Incredible.
Like, I mean, I think DuPont has like 500,000. I think it was like Sia Khaleesi's like 1.3 million, so she's more by 700,000.
Sia Khaleesi has more than your best friend?
Think about my best friend. Well, I mean, he's a World Cup winner and stuff, and he does a lot more like public outreach. I'm pretty sure than most others do. But
yeah,
so I thought it was from someone who does not typically like sevens. This Olympics got me into sevens. I feel like I don't normally go out of my way to watch sevens, and the way that I learn rugby is by like looking down. Like I think about where I am, like from a down up, or I guess what would you call it, bird's eye view, top down view. And so seeing sevens played that way made it make a lot more sense to me. Before that, it was just felt like okay, get the ball wide and run a switch when you get in the outside, and that's all you do just repeatedly. And it was very cool to see that backwards isn't always wrong. Sometimes sideways is not wrong, and sometimes batshit crazy stuff just happens, and you got to go with it.
I feel like
I got a lot more of an appreciation for it.
There's a bug in my house.
I also always thought sevens you had to be like lightning quick, and while you have to be faster, it was nice to see other guys that were like not doing full on sprints, especially the pivot and the two, I guess, centers. I don't know what you'd really call them.
One center
were like not sprinting like that, which is also
nice.
Nice.
I mean, I think we did talk about this when we were trying to play sevens and stuff. It's like it's not about always going forward. It's about just keeping hold of the ball, because it's true you cannot be scored against if you have the ball.
Yeah,
you can get a penalty away, but whatever. There's a lot of penalties in the. Let me get this fly.
Particularly in sevens, people don't really kick penalties.
No, but it has to be a drop kick as well, which is annoying. But yeah, there was. I mean, obviously, there's always a lot of penalties in a sevens game, just because there's a lot of
longer distance passing,
and there's a lot of guys getting to the ruck and a lot of turnovers and jackals and stuff, which is cool. I mean, I've always liked sevens. It's good fun. It always can be the fact that sevens, when you're playing game 7 minutes feels like an eternity.
It does,
because you're
really
have to be so fit and so like on it. But it's such a fast-paced game that one missed tackle and one try can be the absolute undoing of some teams and stuff. And so, like, I mean, the thing to take away from the men's Olympic sevens for me was like South Africa lost 2 of their pool games to Ireland and to New Zealand. Had to play New Zealand again in the quarterfinal, the next fight. Yeah, the quarterfinal. Beat New Zealand and got through to the semis. Yeah. Ireland had to play Fiji, reigning champions, lost.
Yeah, Fiji.
So Ireland lost their quarter.
Fiji.
New Zealand lost their quarter. Yeah, Fiji went through.
Who played Australia?
USA.
Okay, that's right. I mean, we didn't score any points against them.
Okay. And then, but like, where in the world, if you lose 2 pool games and then beat Japan, who were not good, get through to a quarter, you still get through to a quarter as a losing third place.
Only 8 nations qualified or something like that? Is it
there's 12 teams in it.
Okay.
So they had 3 groups of 4, and it was top 2 plus the next 2 best.
Okay.
So I mean,
really
I think it should have just been 16 teams, 4 groups of 4, top 2, and everything go through.
The games go by pretty fast.
And also, the other weird thing about the Olympics sevens, the way they set it up, was that usually a sevens tournament, like if you go and watch like Hong Kong sevens or like Twickenham or any of the big ones, it's day like Saturday and Sunday, day one, day
Mhm.
two. In the Olympics, it was for the
3
men's.
days
It
long.
was all the pool stuff was day one. Most of the pool stuff was day one. Day two was the quarters and some of the like
Semifinal.
the 9th to 12th
Yeah.
place stuff. And then there was an off day on the Friday, and then Saturday was the finals day.
It was
So it was
really
like
odd
it took
to me.
4 days to do, but there was also a rest day in the middle. And if you're a sevens player, that's unheard of. So I don't know. It was, I mean, the France winning it was interesting.
I didn't think they were going to win.
I didn't think they were going to win, but home advantage at the Stade de France, very small in goal area. The home crowd, Antoine Dupont coming in, he did change the game every time, whether you think he's the world's best rugby player or not. Every time he came on, something happened and something changed.
Yeah.
The driving Maul to score when they'd already won the gold at the end was hilarious.
Crazy.
You don't see that in sevens, but yeah, but it was. I mean, I think it was really fun to watch. Hugely disappointed for Ireland. Can't get past a quarterfinal ever in anything.
The team I was most disappointed by, honestly, was Argentina. Like that, I know they hype up the one guy. You told me his name, and he's like considered the best sevens player in the world. He's got the dyed light blonde hair.
Yeah.
I expected them to go farther, especially like given that I think they just won a couple of tournaments, right? I know France had won one of them, but
yeah, I mean, the qualifying. I don't really know how the qualifying worked. It was to do with world. So that you have to play on the sevens circuit, and how many you'd won and how many points and stuff. France had already qualified because they were the home nation. Fiji had already qualified because they were the reigning Olympic champions. And then, and then other teams went through. Great Britain didn't get in. Great Britain, since Norris has retired, they haven't got out.
Well, it's also a funding issue.
Norris?
I thought
Norris.
I thought it was a huge funding issue.
Norton.
Didn't like each of the nations used to be separate, and then they came together for a while, separated back
Well,
out,
so
and came back together
sevens,
again.
before the sevens was in the Olympics, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales all played separately. Mm-hmm. Ireland still plays as a United Ireland. Right. But like England had a team, Scotland had a team, and they were terrible, and Wales had a team, and they were also pretty terrible. But then since they brought it into the Olympics, and the way to qualify for the Olympics was on the international seven circuit, Great Britain has like joined together. I think there's only one Welsh guy on the team. I don't even know if there's a Scottish guy on the team anymore.
I guess primarily English, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I used to go to Twickenham Sevens like quite often, and always the team to watch was obviously New Zealand and Fiji, and then like you'd get teams like Kenya or Zimbabwe or one of those teams, and they were always just really fun to watch and just interesting and a bit different. Georgia have a pretty good sevens, or did have a pretty good sevens team, but obviously didn't make it through. But but I mean, I love sevens. It's very fast paced. It's very different to 15s, and it's good fun.
Obviously, the women's, the U.S. came out with a bronze medal on a last minute try, which was also really, really cool. A full, probably not 90 meters or so that she ran to score that last try was pretty sweet.
I mean, that was funny because I was working and couldn't watch it live. And I think you and Larry were watching it live, and we've got a group text, and both of you sent like "holy shit" at the same time, and I went, "Don't tell me what's happening." And then about an hour later, I saw it and went, "Okay, I know what that was for," because that was incredible. But yeah, what a finish! I mean, that's what I mean about sevens. All it was one wide pass, done. You know, I think the commentator even was like, they're going to need to go 85 meters. They're going to need something spectacular to happen. And
I think it was just a break through the middle. I think it was just a missed tackle. And
it was one little missed kind of a soft arm, and then that was it. Sprint for the line. Yeah,
which is really exciting.
Yeah,
our only other gold medal. I'm sorry, our only other rugby medal was from 1924, but that doesn't count. I looked on the official Olympic page, and it no longer counts towards our like.
Why?
I don't know.
Because it's no longer a sport in the Olympics?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know.
I mean, the US are the reigning Olympics.
I think 15s. We have like 2,000 something medals, and then everyone else has like 1,000 or less.
I thought I don't know.
I think maybe Russia and China have like 1,500 each, but
yeah, the US has got way more medals than everyone else. Michael Phelps has got half of them himself.
Yeah, Simone Biles is up there too.
Yeah, do you know what? Simone Biles doesn't have as many as I thought she did. I thought she had like 12, 15 medals. I think she has like 7.
But she is the most of any women's gymnast for the U.S.
For the U.S.
Yeah, now.
There is an Olympic gymnast from, I believe, the Ukraine or from Russia in like the 50s or 60s. And she basically won every event every year for like 4 Olympics in a row or something. But Phelps is still number 1 of all time. Yeah. He won his first one when he was 15. I know this isn't a swimming podcast, but he won his first Olympic medal when he was 15 years old.
I saw something the other day too that there's some like 14-year-old that just signed some MLR contract or not MLR. I'm sorry, MLS contract. He's going to play like, and then he's going to Europe after. He's on a contract where he stays there for 2 years, and then when he turns 16, he goes to Europe to play in the Premier League or something.
Bloody hell.
Caden Sullivan or something like that. It's something like that. I don't know his name.
There's a kid that goes to New Albany High School that signed like a pro golf thing.
That's pretty sweet.
Like he's apparently like incredible at golf, and we're going to see him like in the Open and stuff next year.
That's pretty
So
sweet.
he's like 18 years old and he's got a pro contract. So I was like, cool.
I'll never be that good at golf. I'm terrible at golf.
We should put I'm gonna put I'm gonna put a clip of you and me fucking whipping. I'll find that. That would be good.
So we had our first practice of the fall season officially on Thursday. So yesterday, if you weren't there, you should have been there. You got to be there on Tuesday. Tuesday. But it was a good practice, I think. Rory got it a lot more focused on fitness on Thursday, which his general philosophy is kind of more fitness oriented on Tuesdays. Thursdays is a lot more split time and skills based stuff, which I thought was good. We had a lot of new guys that had been around since the spring, and then some just completely brand new guys as well. From some of them had come from other clubs before, but had a good group, I think.
Yeah, I think the one thing, I mean, you're obviously the forwards captain, so you can talk about it. But the one thing I thought was like, we've got a lot of new players and a lot of like the Marysville guys and stuff, and also a big number of players coming, and so no one's spot is safe now. Like, which I think is great. Because then it just makes a little bit of rivalry internally to like try and turn up and put your effort in training to get your spot on the team. And the downside of that obviously is there's 23 slots on the D3 team, there's 23 slots on the D4 team, and there may be more than 46 people turn up at training. And so unfortunately it's going to be a case of some people might not be able to play, but
I know it stinks, but it's also a great position for us to be in as a club. That means we're healthy.
As a club,
a lot of people,
yes, and I know it's disheartening to whoever it is to just not be available or to not get picked, which is annoying. But I do think it puts healthy competition in, like, you know,
needed.
Yeah, I think
that we ought to talk to Ollie about maybe scheduling some friendlies because I know the Coyotes chose not to play in D4 this year at all. They have like 3 games scheduled the whole fall.
Well, they're playing in the whatever it is.
They literally have 2.
What's it called? The
IGR, but I don't think they really are. I think they're doing 1 tournament and then 2 like one-off 15s games.
Okay.
So I think like maybe we should try to schedule.
There's not many bye weeks for
maybe some with the Kodiaks, but just to get more game time in for people and especially rotate people in. But that was just something that kind of occurred to me. But because the seasons, I know we talked about it last episode too, but the seasons are so short that. Yeah, there's a lot of minutes to go around, but they're still precious minutes. You only get so many in a season. So, but practice looks good. The forwards, we're really developing, I think, a lot. Our lineouts have been getting a lot more complicated and in a good way, I should say, like more complex, I should say, is the right word. And we're really I'm hoping to get some real technical work done on the scrums to really get the technique down before even just the push itself. I'd rather us be technically sound before we do too much, but feeling good about that. And then at the end of the practice, we went into some 10 stuff for Findlay 10s, which is the tournament we're attending today/tomorrow, Saturday, whatever tomorrow's date is. I guess today's date is the third. As the Findlay 10s.
You find it so difficult to work out that this isn't live now.
I keep thinking it's a Mac, or not a Mac, but a Windows. So I keep looking down here to see if I can see the time, but it's up here or the date.
Yeah, but this is.
Not live.
I
know, I forget that. I forget that sometimes. But so, Findlay
10s, yeah. So there is, I don't know how many teams. I think there's only 6 teams in it. I think. So it'll be good fun. Like last year, we didn't do particularly well last year, but we also didn't really know what we were doing with 10s.
So we also had like 6 guys. We had like half our team was people that were not.
Yeah, and so I think we're probably going to go with about 12 or 13 people. So we might still need some backup from some other teams, but there's always guys who turn up. I'm
sure Duncan would play for us.
Well, he's playing for Toledo, and
hopefully Linder not playing. That's what I mean.
Well, hopefully we'll break his leg before. I'm not joking, Duncan. But like, yeah, so. Hopefully we'll do a bit better. A little bit more organization is probably needed in terms of getting like our proper 7s and 10s
Yeah.
teams sorted. But like
That's got to be a
always,
project that gets worked on in this fall, so that way in
Yeah.
the summer it's ready to go, in the spring.
But yeah, I think it'll be good fun. I forgot that it's nearly 2 hours drive away. I thought it was like around the corner.
It's like an hour and a half to 2.
Yeah, I don't want to leave tomorrow morning. So
it is going to be a long day.
But yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, 10s is a completely different. Like I know a lot about 7s, and obviously we know about 15. 10s is just that middle kind of thing where it's kind of 7s, but it's kind of not. You have 5 forwards, so you have a real quote unquote scrum. So it's just a little bit different.
When we were practicing yesterday, what I noticed is like a lot of the forwards are like, okay, I'm going to get into a pod formation, and that's not what you need. You just need to get the ball going.
Yeah, you need to play 7s, quote unquote 7s, wide ball getting it in, and then just the forwards, not whoever of the second row. Usually they're probably just 2 like back row or center players that play in the forwards for the game, but the front row you sometimes do play with like 2 real props and a real hooker. They are probably primarily the guys who are going to be getting to things and hitting a ruck, but you don't want to overcommit. The same as 7s. If you overcommit, if you put 2 people in a ruck, you're a man down because the other team will only put 1 in. So like there won't be any driving mauls like France. There won't be. I mean, there isn't in our 15s league anyway. There won't be.
One day, I hope
many mauls in general.
Rory.
It should be kind of more fast-paced, open rugby. But who knows? Like
It also depends on like what teams go, because some teams are like super attack oriented, and other teams just sit there and will play defense for the full 20 minutes every single game, which is just really it's fun, but it's frustrating. So
So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to like playing rugby again. And
then we have a bye week, and then it's Cincinnati.
Yeah, and during that bye week, Kangaroo Court.
Folks are getting subpoenaed.
2 o'clock at 2 o'clock or 2:30, whatever it was. Larry, social secretary, is organising that Kangaroo Court. People will enjoy themselves, and then we forget about it for another year, which is good. And then the first kind of warm-up game, it's again away against Cincinnati. We cancelled it in the spring just because we didn't have guys.
It fell on Labor Day weekend, which I think for some reason no one looked at the calendar when
Labor Day.
It fell over the 3-day weekend.
Memorial Day.
That's right.
Labor Day's in September. Even I know that.
I don't know that. All I know is it's the day that I get off.
Oh, physically off work. Okay.
Oh, that too.
Gross. So we got that game on the 17th down in Cincinnati.
And then the 24th, I think, is Michiana.
And then the next week, Michiana at home. Home? I've got it here. Yeah, Michiana at home. Then Tradesmen away. Toledo at home. So Michiana's further than the Tradesmen, isn't it? Further drive?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't go last year. I was unavailable. Toledo at home. Fort Wayne away. Detroit away. That's D3. D4. 17th against the Celts. Then the next weekend, there's no bye week. It's the next weekend. Oh, no, that's when Michiana's at home. Oh, there's a double header, isn't it? Yeah. So that's a probably good. That's our. What is a homecoming? What does that mean?
This home opener.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the start of the season. I'd say it's our home opener.
Cool. So it'll be a double header game. So it'll probably be D4 first, then
D4 at 11, and then D3 at 1.
Yeah. So if you are not playing and you are available, come and we will try and organise. We won't organise it. Someone else will organise some food.
Maybe we can get Master Blaster to come out and grill out or something again.
Well, I heard that he's not going to be available much this season, so
I'm
very sad. I'm sure he'll be watching the podcast.
Absolutely, he's our number 1 fan.
One of one. But yeah, so we'll see if we can get make it an event, make it fun. Yeah, I don't even know do you know how long we've been going for? 21 minutes.
Good chunk of time.
About 7 minutes at the beginning with us talking bullshit about other stuff. That's probably another cold opener I can put in, or another.
That's probably too.
It's good.
It's a usual. But hope to see you guys all out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m. at Rhodes Park. We're way back at the park. After practices on Thursdays, we still go to Woodland's backyard. And then games are starting up here real soon. So make sure you reach out to Ollie or myself or somebody and let them know if you're available. And anything else you want to add?
Macron store's up.
Shirts.
There's some of these available to buy.
Oh, hold up a second. You know what?
Some of these available to buy. Macron.
Golf outing.
Oh, golf. I wasn't gonna say that. We also are needing to find some sponsors. So if you or someone you know owns a small business in like specifically a local business, we'd love to stay local. We would love to kind of partner with you guys. We can talk about sponsorship and stuff. Like you can sponsor a game, you can sponsor the kit, you can sponsor like a set of shirts or anything, even if it's just like an evening of drinks and stuff. We'll happily kind of
be sure to be there.
Yeah, set stuff up and give you guys some recognition and things. Other than that,
well, until next episode, peace out. Peace out, right? Not guns.